Hello. This is really me testing the abilities of the B2100I's microphone. Just this recap, I'm on the train to Gothenburg. I got up about 2 hours earlier than I anticipated. I was going to rise about 8 o'clock in the morning, but got up at about 5, which is fine. I woke up at 5 and laid around a bit, so almost 6. I had, due to exhaustion, I declined to clean up. I had a few dishes to wash, I had a floor to sweep, I had packing that wasn't complete. So I used the extra 2 hours to race around, finally tuning my packing. There was only one scary moment during the packing, and that was that I have a thermometer that has a clock, and the thermometer was set to 0 hours, which is Greenwich Mean Time, rather than plus 1 hour GMT, which is our time. I think I had it set like that, so I'd have 2 clocks as a point of reference. That was a little bit scary. So I have packed very, very meticulously. It's one of those rare occasions upon beginning a journey where somebody is, when one doesn't feel that they've forgotten something. There was only one moment where I had mislaid the ticket. So, yeah, I have no idea how much of this audio you're able to hear. But this is really the first official televised, internet televised test of this phone. So I'm being very careful to have the light behind the camera. So, and it's quite possible that the glare from my lenses of my glasses is causing a bit of visual disharmony. I took a couple of pictures of motion pictures going past from the window. As you would expect, the reflection obfuscated the image, and the fact that it's, you can't adjust things like aperture times, so motion photography is not really optimal under these conditions. But just to illustrate the scene that I see, it's a sunny winter's day, and not quite midwinter, and there are a lot of trees and overhead longish grass. There are very sapling pine trees that have not yet been harvested for the purposes of hanging baubles from. Now, don't know whether or not this is a barn, a tree nursery, or whether or not they're just growing naturally. There are lots of trees, so one can take a guess. There's absolutely no sign of any civilization here whatsoever. So this is I'm sitting on one of the models of trains that are somewhat older. That's the first thing. A train opposite me, on the opposite platform, had sign indicating that it was going in the direction of Gothenburg. Now, the trains, as far as I remember, always go from the second platform. Now, what I didn't anticipate also is the fact that my phone was turned off after having replacing the battery, and that all of the immediately visible analog clocks in the train station would all be set to 12 o'clock and wouldn't change. So I had to first guess the time. First I anticipated that it was later than it was. So there was a rush of panic, but I refused to cross over the platform. And the announcement board still indicated that my train was coming. I was just well ahead of myself. So what I I had to be careful of doing. I tried to resist is this habit of overpacking. It's a subconscious, unconscious reflex that some people have that means that we pack everything we possibly want to use, and in my case usually 3 hard copies of books, and I had to force myself to part with the not last year's but the year before last copy of Viz, and I ended up packing a book that I didn't plan on packing anyway. So that's what happens. Well, I've got just enough, and something I usually forget is to pack provisions, and I must have seen into the future, because this is one of the rare occasions along this route. This is a direct train in which there is not any serving trolley or serving or cafeteria kiosk. So I'm replete with provisions. I've got nuts and chocolates, which I've half eaten. I had Stilton rolls, and the quite funny thing is I'm reading a book on post-feminism, and my attire, as you can see, is rather like a typical left-winger, which I am not, anonymous people. Even though my phone is as red as my scarf, I'm not. So if any loony lovelies passing by, I think I spotted a long, intensive gaze from across the aisle. That if they are under this impression, then so be it, and at a later date they will be disabused. It's a nifty reading. I'm thinking when I finished reading this particular book, that I'll go on to I'll read maybe one of my books on screenwriting. I may even play games because I'm getting tired because of the sugar rush, I may perhaps read one of my conservative books, not Rush by Mark Levin, which I have stored on my Kindle. I didn't plan to take my Kindle, but I realised that there's a book on it that I have to finish. Many books, one in particular I don't want to carry, and I thought, why not? And I think my parents will question why I haven't got it, considering that I spent the birthday money on it. So I'm going to stop recording now, because I probably haven't got much memory left. So this is me signing out, and I'll continue at a little later.